All right, folks, Wani here from Wani, and with us today we have one and only Jennie Ann Smith of AVATARIUM. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm very fine. I'm still in the process of promoting our new album, and of course that feels great.
That's really good to hear. And before we proceed into the record and all the future that's coming up, I have one simple question for you, and I still don't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
And the question is, why is AVATARIUM and Jennie Ann Smith in general so fucking good?
Okay. Well, I should probably ask you that because since you've been listening and following our work, but I think we have. If I should answer that question, I would say that we have a lucky combination of great craftsmanship among us musicians and great songs. Great craftsmanship in the songwriting, and there's this great energy, and it's a lucky combination.
That's really good to hear because every album that the band has released over the period of last so many years, it's been like a journey. How has it been
Yeah.
so far in terms of fan response to the new song in general?
It's been very good, and the reactions have been very positive, and I feel that people react to that this first track is a bit more up tempo and straightforward than where we've been before. So I think it's people are very seems to be happy about it, and so are we. I mean, we've our ambition have really been to try to complete our live set. We wanted some more up tempo and straightforward tracks to build a nice dynamic, and I really think we've achieved that on our new album.
That sounds really good because it's a beautifully written album. There's a lot of the elements of darkness. There's
Yeah.
beauty, and there's that sort of an invisible ghost factor in it that keeps it interesting. And the mood
Yes, I think
swings,
so too.
yeah, and it changes from song to song as compared
Yeah.
to the Raven Mask. What was the
Mm.
main goal of the band?
We really wanted a couple of more up tempo tracks, and also I mean it's always very difficult to be a spokesperson. We are 5 individuals playing in the band, and we also have Leif Edling as a creative force with us. But for if I should speak for myself, it would be pointless for me to make the same album over and over again, and I'm not that kind of person. I have the need for growth and developing. So I and before making this record, I actually had quite a lot of anxiety because I was like, how could I make this new album interesting for me, and what do I need to take it to another level, or to take another step, and what can I contribute with to push this in a direction that makes it interesting. So the stakes get higher for oneself for the longer you work. So that was really my ambition, to sort of optimize or to take this to another level.
Absolutely, because you already mentioned that how you don't, or the band in general doesn't prefer to write same album again and again, and we already discussed about how the journey has been for the band. But on this album, there's a lot of obviously this it's the doom is the core, but still you have a lot of the ballady moments, a lot of blues rock moments in this. But there's a tinge of pop elements also
Yes.
introduced on this record. What was that?
Yes.
What was that inspiration, and who was that main factor to bring in that? Because it's not a negative point here, and it actually adds value to the already existing sound of
Yeah.
Avatarium.
Yeah. Well, if we should look deeper into that, I mean, and if you look at and listen to, for example, Black Sabbath, I would say that is pop, compositions. It is really a pop formula of how the songs are written, and then of course you can arrange things in different modes or in different clothing, and you get different sort of energies or feels to it. But I mean, it comes really natural. I mean, we have sort of references in common that I mean, the Beatles is one, for example, and which for me is of course a huge source of inspiration when it comes to pop and rock music, and so it comes very natural to to move in that direction. I wouldn't, as you say, I think we have our root in the doom tradition, and that is like a red thread to all of these three albums, and it is a doom sort of nerve, but with our Scandinavian melancholic blonde sort of mode. So it is a thread, and also I think we add a lot of really the Nordic influences with, as I said, a melancholic sort of language, but there is also, I mean, we have our Swedish folk music, and I think that is really present in the Swedish doom. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you talked about the folk side of it, and that's where Road to Jerusalem is something that it sounded like a journey in the Middle East. I'm like stuck somewhere in, I don't know, somewhere in Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia or something, or Jordan or somewhere. It's got a lot of
Yeah.
variety. I mean, there are a lot of percussive elements and a lot of
Yes.
acoustics, a lot of leads and vocals keep. There's that sort of a variation when the song starts and how it kind of builds up. Not very often I hear something like this from Marcus or Missy, and your voice in general.
Well, on that track we were very, and also on the whole of this album, we were very fortunate to work with Michael Blair, who's a percussionist, and he appears on a couple of the tracks on the album, and he brings this certain flavor. He's an American percussionist who has been living in Sweden for quite many years, but he used to work with artists such as Tom Waits and Lou Reed and these giants, American giants, and luckily he integrates I think these styles with his he brings his bag of tricks, and if you look down into that bag, there are these odd things and instruments and pieces of steel and wood, and he makes these magical sounds, and so he's really been building these songs as well, besides from what we achieve. Yeah.
That's really awesome, and I gotta
Yeah.
be honest with you. The chorus part. Right from the day Road to Jerusalem. And I've been singing it from days. I don't know why. It's
Wow.
just stuck on my mind. You won't even believe I've become a bathroom singer when I keep humming this out of nowhere. So, but it's a good thing. It's a good. My mom
I'm
keeps
so
telling that. What's wrong with you? You've been telling this from last 5 days. I don't know.
I'm very flattered and honored to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, like you said, as well as Marcus have shared songs. Although he's the mentor of this band
Yeah,
in terms of
yeah,
writing songs, and I love his stuff with the new project. That he recently the Doomsday Kingdom as well.
yes,
So like
yes.
he's I
It's
don't know, the
amazing.
guy always churns out classic stuff, and beat with
Yeah.
Avatarium, Candlemas with this. So contribution wise, I also know that a lot of members put in their points, put in their the thoughts and opinions on this record,
Yes,
and I love the
yes,
way the organs are used on this. I mean,
yes.
is his name Rickard?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
Rickard,
yeah.
and yes, I mean, this is the outcome of a very intense group process, and all of us contributes equally with, the arrangements and the whole sort of production. So it is really a band process. And yes, we have a super strong lineup with, Rickard Nilsson is one of Sweden's absolutely finest pianists and organ player. And when he first, because he's an old friend of ours, and when we were so excited and thrilled that he wanted to be a part of this. And when he, first, the first thing I heard was the solo of "Into the Fire, Into the Storm," and when I did that, I felt like, oh, okay, it's time to step up, because he's such a great musician. And also we have Mats Rydström on the bass, and he's a spectacular bass player as well, and so he adds this really energetic, and organic touch, and it's playful and warm. And he and Lars together. Lars is such a steady and tough drummer. So it's a power duo, and so I feel so. This is so fortunate for a singer to be amongst these great musicians, and who also are. They're unique individuals and artists in themselves, and they bring a lot of ideas and to the whole production.
Oh, that's right.
So
and you are the final piece on this puzzle with your vocals. A lot of emotions from your side. It's
and also it's also very fortunate. I'm the only female in this situation, but I feel that we have a common sort of respect for each other as musicians, and it wouldn't be possible for me to work with AVATARIUM if I couldn't have a musical influence. So being a part of the arrangements and to work closely Marcus Jidell has produced this album, and we work very close with, trying different sort of forms and trying different sounds, and I feel respected, and without that, I could have not been. It wouldn't be for me to just be a singer. It wouldn't work that way for me.
Absolutely. And I just got this thought in my mind, seeing you carrying a gun, shooting the hell out of the person in the music video that came out a year ago, not even taking one bullet. How the hell did that happen?
I got such a poor aim, probably.
That was that James Bond act from you, and I loved it. And I was having a chat with Anne Catherine. She's my good friend.
Yeah.
And that time I was like, Anne, what is actually Jennie trying to do here? It's like, she's the female James Bond. You don't ask questions.
Well, it was. We had a director who came up with the idea, but I think it was a great way of, it's obviously that Person Coffins is a love story, and the lyric really speaks for itself, but to use a gun in that context was really empowering. When you have your heart broken, or you're treated in a, you're being treated in the way you can imagine this person have been, it's, the weapon is a metaphor of how one can empower oneself, and so it's really symbolic. And of course, I was a little bit worried, how will this be, how will people think about this or feel about this? But afterwards I understood that people felt that this is metaphor, this is symbolic. So yeah.
Jennie, if you had to sum up the record in a sentence, what would you say?
Well, you could certainly expect a very powerful and fierce and fiery experience when you listen to this, and great craftsmanship and great dynamics, great melodies, and it's impossible for me to be objective and to sum it up in one sentence. But it's the best record we've achieved so far, and I'm so super proud of what we've done.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. And you touched the point of being a front lady, to be precise, of a metal band in general, with a lot of metal scene, how it's shaped up. I've spoken to almost every singer in the metal who's basically, a lead singer. I'm talking about women here, and
Yeah.
everyone has seem to give a flying fuck about how the sort of sexism is there in metal. It's all about music. It's all about the emotions
Yeah.
and what's there in you want to experience and expel it out of your body. And it's just
Yeah.
not about looks. For you,
No.
in general, how do you perceive the sexism in metal?
Well, I would say it's the same problems as with the rest of the society. I mean, we live in a society that is not gender equal, and we would like to, but the fact is that we don't. I know that you have your problems in India. I mean, we have our problems in Sweden, even though I think that we have common leaves, for example, and we have a welfare system that benefits equality between the sexes and so on. But it's the same way, and I mean, we face difficulties in music, as the music business, and it's quotation. I'm not sure if quotation is the key in general, but in the music business, there is a majority of men, and in hard rock, it's even more so. And of course, you're affected by that as a female. And but for me, it's I need to feel that I'm respected, and as I respect musicians back. And if you work with people who are on the same level as yourself or has the same goals, that is not a problem. I would say I don't feel affected by it, but. Since you brought it up, of course, mostly I'm interviewed by men, and mostly we have men in the booking agencies and the record companies. So, but now actually at the moment we have a great female co-worker with us on Nuclear Blast, and she is super good, and Swallow, yeah. So I mean, things are progressing, and hope to have 50-50 would be super good. So, and also I hope that we'll see more female musicians in the future.
Absolutely. That absolutely would be wonderful. Jennie, again, thank you so much for spending some time. All I can do is to wait for you guys to probably catch you live somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would be awesome. So thanks again. Good luck with the release and tour as much as possible. And again, and I'll see you on the road.
Thank you very much for your interest in our album, and take good care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.